as the summer holidays approach, we all want to make sure we're looking our best on the beach.
And that's how ex-fitness influencer Alice Leaving garnered over 500,000 followers on Instagram.
But almost 10 years later, Alice is now warning people that her so-called healthy lifestyle was actually making her ill.
And she's releasing her new book, Give Me Strength, and Alice joins us now in the studio. Good morning to you, Alice.
Morning,
Lovely to meet you.
Hello.
So I guess if we go back, you were one of the first fitfluencers, as they were calling influencers who were really into fitness online.
That's right. And, you know, I started 10 years ago, as you said, so it was a long time ago, and the word influencer didn't really even exist at the time. So I started off this online food diary, just kind of wanted to share what I was eating and how I was approaching this, what I thought was a lifestyle change, and just so happened to kind of garner this audience of people that connected with what I was doing. But I guess as it continued and as you said, you know, I sort of started to realise that actually what I thought was this healthy lifestyle pursuit actually wasn't so healthy in itself.
And it was a huge number of people. When you talk about this audience that you had, it was a huge number of people. And you were kind of projecting, you were putting out recipes and lifestyle choices, but you were actually exhausted too. You were training so much.
I think that's the thing. I think, you know, when it comes to pursuing a healthy lifestyle, we all start out with best intentions. Yes. You want to eat well, you want to move your body, and there's nothing wrong with those things. But I think that as many people, and I've spoken to so many women across the years who kind of go down the same path where you start to get a little bit connected to doing more and then doing more. And what we know about health and fitness is more doesn't always equal better. You can do too much exercise. You can eat too little to fuel your body. And so understanding that there is that tipping point, you know, yes, those things matter, but actually going too far with them can actually take you in the opposite direction.
So your account, Clean Eating Alice, was hugely popular, as we said. But how bad did it get? Because I've looked back at some of your bits and pieces that you were posting, and there are Instagrammers and there's fitfluencers, as they're called now, that look very similar. I mean, you can see you on the left there. You're looking strong, you're looking athletic, but you're a fraction of the size of the person on the right, who you're saying is a much healthier, much happier person.
I think that's right. And, you know, we mustn't take how someone looks as a kind of connection to how they actually are operating health-wise. So in the photo on the left, I actually didn't have a menstrual cycle. And that was something that I lost as a result of my body being under too much stress and struggling with the amount of exercise that I was doing and also just not eating enough to fuel my body. And I think that we must realise that, you know, finding a place that's in the middle. Yes, exercise matters. I'm sat here as a personal trainer and I'm obviously going to tell you that moving your body is important and that's a crucial part of the book. But also doing it in a healthy and a sustainable way for the long term. You know, I want people that come to me to train for the rest of their life, not just to look good on the beach this summer. And so it's about trying to give people reasons to connect to exercise in a healthy and positive way that doesn't mean that they fall into the mistakes that I did when I was in that place.
I think it's also to get a perspective on Instagram and posts as well, and social media in general. When you see just one snapshot of a picture, you have no idea of all of the infrastructure that's going on around it. I mean, you were ill and you were kind of almost feeding off these likes from people.
I think that's right. And I think, look, I look at that time and I realise that it was such a wider context of lots of people doing the same thing. And a lot of these behaviours, sadly, being incredibly normalised, also validated. I'm sure anyone knows and can attest to the fact that if you lose a bit of weight, the first thing that people say to you is, oh, you look amazing, you look great. And that can be really nice. And suddenly when you start hearing that a lot, it kind of feeds into that nice, happy feeling of validation. And so you continue those behaviours. But I guess the reality is that you're right. Instagram is never the full picture. We all need to take it with a pinch of salt. And, you know, I started my page when I was 22. I was really young. I made mistakes, and haven't we all? And I've gone on a journey over the last however many years to learn to do better. And I've taken my audience on that journey with me, and I'm grateful for the fact that there are so many people who've actually connected with what I've done and who feel very similarly to how I am. I said in the book, you know, I don't see myself as unique. In fact, I speak to so many women who have the exact same story as me and who are trying to find peace with their bodies, not to feel as though every day they look in the mirror and go, I hate myself, or punishing their body through exercise, or, you know, constantly feeling that Monday is a day that they've got to start back on that diet bandwagon. All of these things are things that I think women connect to. And I've just tried to use my experience and my expertise as a trainer, now 10 years in the industry, into the book and really helping women to do things differently.
If you create that profile, you create that following, though, and you are living that lifestyle, you're creating an income as well. So you were earning money off what you were now doing. Was there concern when you shifted and you realised this is making me ill? I'm going to lose I could lose my profile. I could lose the fact that I can pay my mortgage and pay my bills because my business is going to have to change.
I think it's a great question, and there has to be accountability with what has come before. I sit here as someone who's tried to very much own the fact that I got it wrong. And there is no part of me that doesn't feel that that is a really important thing to say. But I also think that I look at that time and as it being part of a really difficult time for lots of people who were doing very similar things. And I realise that life is about learning to do better. And I've always tried to be now authentic, transparent and honest. And if you're that to people and you give them honesty and you take them on that journey with you, you'll find that people can really then connect to what you're saying and find some similarity between what I went through and what they are going through too. So I think that's been really important, and that's been at the heart of my journey. And the book is I guess, lifting the lid on a lot of that stuff and trying to say, look, I could have done better, and here's how. And actually, because of what I've gone through, here's how I think that things can change for the better.
Well, look, Alice's book, Give Me Strength, How She Turned Her Back on Restriction, Nurtured the Body That She Loves and How You Can Do It Too, is available right now.
Thanks, Alice. It's a really brave move, actually, and I've got a niece, and I think that's a really good thing to tell girls and other women too. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.